So what do we have here? Zero hedge. Quarter two, gross domestic product, GDP, revised lower to 1.1% as expected, even as personal consumption rises. And I need to be appropriate with this one. Stand by. With that double revision. That's it. Foreigner. Double revision. Oh, Double Vision was the real song. Jason Ford version. Double revision. Why? Because if I had a silver ounce, just 1 ounce for each revision or revised statistic of, remember the video I did not that long ago? The government said the last 10 years of GDP, we got it wrong. We're revising all of it down to below the mark that says right here, worse than terrible. We're going under that mark is essentially where it ended up, you could say. Last 10 years. And I said then, how the hell did you get that one wrong? Where did the new data come from 10 years later? Was it a Chinese kid? Put a little message in a bottle, threw it in the ocean, circled the ocean for 10 years. You found it on the west coast of the United States somehow. Opened it up, and it said, "Hi, my name is Ching Chow. Greetings from 1985. I mean, what is this? Everything is revised. And very, 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 very rarely is it revised upward. This is one of those things, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, or 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So not only last 10 years, we had to revise that in one fell swoop. We are not done yet. Quarter two, also revising that down lower to 1.1%, 1.1 gigawatts. In what has been called the economic equivalent of hitting double zeros on roulette, moments ago, the BEA announced that quarter two GDP eased off from the original estimate of just a horrible 1.2%, declining fractionally to 1.09%. And right on top of consensus estimates, which also expected a 1.1% print in the second quarter. This means that following the disappointing quarter one print of 0.83%, the first half economic growth is now officially just below 1%, or 0.096 to be precise. There was little change in the constituents, with personal consumption revised modestly higher from an already questionable 2.83% to 2.94%, translating into 4.4% sequential increase in personal consumption, above the 4.2% expected, and higher than the pre-revised 4.2%. Also improving was fixed investment, which is said to have dipped by only minus 0.42%, modestly better than the 0.52% reported a month ago. However, this was offset by a downward double revision to private inventories, which subtracted minus 1.26% from quarter two GDP, worse than the 1.16 reported previously, while trade now contributed only 0.1%, down from 0.22% last quarter. And finally, government was also revised lower from 0.16% to 0.27%, or minus. While there were no major surprises in the report, we urge readers to keep an eye on consumption, which, as we showed 1 month ago, inexplicably soared in the first quarter. In fact, as shown below, after today's revision, it is just shy of the highest print reported over the last 5 years. considering recent commentary from dollar stores, which plunged most on record yesterday, by the way, on the back of a collapse in low-income spending, we doubt that this seasonally adjusted and goal-seeked number is even remotely close to reality. And I, myself, concur. I'll be doing another video in the near future. Oh, remember that one I did about the revised number? Double revision, because it's time to double revise that one. We made a mistake. It was worse than we thought. But don't put that in the news. Only put these forecasts out when we say it's good. Here's the decent numbers. Put that in the news. And then when the revision comes out month to 2 months later, don't talk about it on the news channels. All right? Okay. Got it, boss. Just keep towing the recovery line. Finally, with real GDP now rising at just 1.2% year over year, which is, in case you don't know, absolutely horrendous. Entirely propped up by the consumer, by the way. Any incremental weakness to U.S. spending in the current quarter would push the U.S. into a technical contraction. So what does that mean? That means it's probably already there. If we revise everything down constantly, and that's the norm. I remember doing videos not that long ago where they did a revision, and while they were doing the revision, they revised a previous revision, kind of a thing. It was like, came up with the number, oh, it's good numbers. A month later, revision comes out. A month after that, so 2 months total later, a revision comes out for the last month, but then also a double revision to the previous month. So they revised the previous month and then the previous month before that, 2 months ago. Double revision. Get your new soundtrack from Foreigner. New remix with Jason at 4. Lead vocals. Double revision. That'd be terrible. It'd be about as terrible as that 1.1 or 1.2 GDP print, to be quite honest with you. It just amazes me how they can just fudge these numbers. I mean, what would really happen? Let's think about this. What would really happen if the government just told the truth for once and kept telling the truth? No revisions. Here it is. Give them the real data. Okay. Unemployment 5%. Yeah, it's about 12. Okay. And what else? How about the GDP? Where we at with that? You've been showing like 2.2, 2.3%. 1.2, maybe 1.1%. Okay. We can handle it. You can tell us the truth. But they have to fudge the numbers. Barack Obama's going, because if they don't fudge the numbers, Barack Obama can't come out and say, anybody that says the economy in America is not doing good is peddling fiction. Peddling fiction. I like to look at myself as peddling truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God. Peddling fiction. I hope that this revised GDP down to 1.1%, someone's not peddling some fiction and that it's actually worse than that. We should be seeing 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5% GDP to say, you know what, America's doing pretty decent. You know, we're good. Not freaking 1.1. So if you get to see 1.1, that means that's what they're willing to show you. Which means what? You know it's worse than that. Again, you cannot have 24 million people on EBT food stamps in 2007, and then 8 rolls around, and it explodes. 2009, 10 explodes even more. And we're at almost 50 million people. It's like 48, 47, 48 million people still on food stamps. So how can you sit here and say we've had a recovery and GDP, all this crap? 7% unemployment, 6%, 5%, man, doing great. When this 3-alarm fire is telling you that's not possible, how are all these people still on food stamps? If unemployment goes down from 7%, 6%, 5%, that food stamp usage should be coming down as well. These are two things that would go hand in hand. And yet that one's staying there saying, nope, we're here and we're staying. What a shame. Take care.